Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. In 2020, I could do for a partial refund. I think the only reason I won't ask for a complete refund is because although it has been quite a roller coaster ride with the pandemic and the obvious police lack of accountability and brutality, Black Lives Matter protest rallies, job issues, presidential breakdowns, meltdowns, it has been one for the records. And that's honestly one of the reasons for this particular video. Out of chaos births new beginnings. And hopefully we are on a clear trajectory of a new beginning. What is this new beginning I'm speaking of? Well, if you have been on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, possibly even MySpace. I'm not sure. Is anybody even on MySpace anymore? But pretty much, or Google, the news, if you have used any form of social media or any means of following news, pop culture, then you would know that out of a lot of the chaos that's going on has birthed a very exciting revolution in the way of Black content creators, Black brands becoming more inclusive, brands actually taking part in a challenge that was created by one of the Black beauty brands and voiced by one of the biggest Black beauty content creators, which is called Pull Up or Shut Up, I believe it is. Yes, it is called the Pull Up or Shut Up Challenge. And this pretty much came about the beginning of this month, month of June. Beauty CEO Sharon Chuter, I hope I'm not saying her last name incorrectly, she started this campaign as a way to encourage brands who, are Black owned, primarily those who are not Black owned, to publicly release their diversity records from the corporate level. And that is a huge thing because right now we have so many brands, so many organizations that are jumping on what we have even identified to be Black Lives Matter bandwagon, when in actuality this is just, in the form of a post or acting as though they're in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement because of all of the recent developments and all of the videos and things that are beginning to circulate. And I can't even say begin, they've been out there, but now it's like these brands want to become woke, so to speak. And I don't do that as a way of mocking them, because we do have some brands out there that are not minority owned that have been along with us for the ride, for the long haul. But I believe her Pull Up or Shut Up challenge was speaking to brands at a universal level. Like, okay, you put, Black Lives Matter hashtag up, but what now? What now? Are you going to do this on Tuesday because it's trending, and then come Thursday you forgot about us? Your content goes back to the same, where it's whitewashed. There's absolutely no Black people being represented on your, on your feed. And that's another thing I want to bring up. I kind of feel like this video is a mesh of sorts because I haven't done one since all of this has come about. People, there is a huge difference, especially the way that the media kind of puts it out there, There's a huge difference between people of color and black people. Let's just deal with that, because people of color means non-Caucasian, non-white. It does not mean black people. It does not mean people of African descent. And that is one of the things that has really come to the forefront during this Pull Up or Shut Up challenge, where Sharon actually challenges these companies to post their diversity records as it pertains to who works in leadership, who works in leadership, making, you know, the rules and the regulations for these different companies, not just marketing, not just online marketing, not just their social media platform, but the company in its totality. And what I was noticing, along with a lot of other people, is that you would have, you know, some huge companies, like major big deal companies, who, you know, their Black Lives Matter, we're with the movement, Black Lives Matter, you know, cutting and pasting and screenshotting someone else's quote and then posting it onto their feed. When they posted their diversity record as it pertains to who worked in leadership or in corporate for their particular company or organization, they, you know, let's say out of 100%, you would see like 54% white, 15% people of color, 2% black. Now, if these companies can identify with the fact that POC, better known as people of color, does not exclusively mean black, then why can't we see that? Some of us were excited when we saw people of color. It does not mean us. It just means that they have people in those positions who are not Caucasian or who identify as people of color. That could mean that they identify as being Hispanic, they identify as being Asian, you know, anything that would take away from just being Caucasian is what the general public considers to be people of color. What I wanted to do today, it's been requested, and to be completely honest, it should not have had to be requested. My video today is just going to showcase some black-owned brands. Black-owned mean black CEO, but when I mean black, I mean black. If we want to have a seat at the table, at the big boy table, at the big leagues table, then we have to hold ourselves accountable for walking into it with the same, if not more, knowledge and confidence in those black-owned brands than we expect our Caucasian, Hispanic, and Asian counterparts to do as well. What I have done, I've done some research, and there's actually more black-owned brands out there than we actually give credit for. I don't mean black-owned brands that have fallen by the way of obscurity, they're no longer in existence. No, these brands are alive, well, and thriving, but for the most part, we don't know much, if anything at all, about them. There is literally, that I've researched, 40 black owned, meaning black CEO, black brands out there. There is a plethora of black owned brands out there, and the way that I believe some of these brands are being overlooked, it's because of the name. Disclosure: just because a brand uses the word black in their title, in their marketing, it does not mean that that is a black-owned brand. I can name several brands that have used the word black as a way to attract their targeted audience, being black people, and there is no one near being black behind the face of that brand, nor anyone at the marketing or corporate level of that brand. They just so happen to use a word that we as black people tend to gravitate to very freely, very easy, without much thought, without much research. So the one brand, the CEO who actually started the Pull Up or Shut Up challenge, Her brand is called UOMA. It's UOMA. She is a Nigerian businesswoman. Her brand is absolutely phenomenal. The price point to me of this particular brand as it pertains to each of her items, I think she priced it well at the price point that her brand commands. To me, it can go up there with many of the luxury brands, maybe one or two notches away from Pat McGrath. Her brand, it's very inclusive. I'm just going to read her mission statement as it reads on her website. UOMA, we believe beauty comes in every color, so we created an inclusive foundation range that says bye-bye to one-size-fit-all in beauty industry norms. So my particular shade is Brown Sugar T2W. And just going back to the price point, her price point for this one is $39. You can get this online at UOMA beauty.com. You also can pick this up at Ulta Beauty. Now that we have a little bit of history about kind of what's going on in the Black beauty community, we are going to do our face and then we're going to discuss it a little bit further. So just disclosure for the brands that I'm going to be using that are not Black owned, I will not give a formal introduction of what it is. You'll just kind of see what it is I'm doing. So I'm just going to use some primer. And another Black brand, very well-known brand, Juvia's Place. I am going to use a little bit of their setting powder to go underneath my foundation. Learned this trick via Jackie Aina. It is amazing for those of us who have oily skin. It helps to keep your makeup mattified just a tad bit longer. So now that I have on a little bit of setting powder, I am going to go forth with the foundation. Again, UOMA, UOMA, and my shade is Brown Sugar, T as in Tom, 2W. One thing I was noticing about this foundation when I first purchased it is that it's very, very, very liquidy. If I would have to say anything about it, that would be the one thing that I would say that I wish they, had have changed in the formula. I was almost hoping that I had just kind of got one that maybe sat too long or wasn't shaped properly during production. But from what I'm hearing of other people and reviews that I've seen, it's pretty much like this across the board for this foundation. This one, it is buildable. You can use one pump, depending on how it comes out of the container. You can use like one pump if you want like sheer coverage, and if not, just kind of allow it to dry down, and then you can build and add layers as you see fit. I'm gonna try. Let's see how it comes out. Yeah, see, it's liquidy. Yeah, and they do say on the bottle to shake well. I mean, I shook it, it still kind of came out that way. And then another thing that I do, I sometimes, because I've used this a few times, I sometimes just take the, screw the top off, and for whatever reason it seems to be thicker that way. See, now the consistency is different, so it may just be that my pump is defected, but I'm going to add another layer. to go over to concealer. Again, using Juvia's Place, black owned brand. I am going to use, and this is shade 12. I typically use this one for like my under eye area. And back to those brands, Google is your friend. So now that we have that, I am going to use, I'm excited to bring this one out. Ta-da! My beauty fan. It's just going to help dry my concealer just a little bit. I love my septum ring, but I swear it kind of does what it wants to do at times, and it's so annoying. Okay, and I'm sorry guys if y'all are hearing my phone. That's another thing I'm kind of excited about. I recently invested in getting me a camera. So all of this time, all of the videos and pictures that I was doing or that I was taking and recording, I was using my iPhone. And now I have upgraded. I am getting more serious about my craft, y'all. And I now am using a camera. So if you're hearing like noise in the background, it's because my phone, even though I put it on silent, it still wants to do its own thing. Okay, so now that this is drying down, I am going to take the liberty of doing my brows. I'm gonna do them off camera, and I will be back with you guys. And I have blended in the concealer, did my brows a little bit, and applied the pressed powder by Juvia's Place to set the concealer in. Just going to use some setting spray. And if you guessed this, you guessed right, my new beauty fan, just to dry it. I actually got this one from a local beauty supply store. Was like $8 and some change, and it's so cute. It comes with like a little stand, and it's battery operated, but you also can use a enclosed USB charger. The palette that I want to work from today, this one is colored Raine, C-O-L-O-U-R-E-D, Raine, R-A-I-N-E. And this palette I actually picked up from Target. I was pleasantly surprised to discover that many Target locations actually carry colored Raine in their stores. I mean, it's a very small selection depending on the demographics in the area that your Target is located, but nevertheless, many Targets do carry colored Raine. And like with UOMA, I'm going to read to you a little bit about colored Raine. Let me pull it up. Okay, so colored Raine, their founder, her name is Lorraine Dowdy, and she is a Brooklyn-born Caribbean-descended woman who founded Color Raine in 2013, leaving a high-powered job in the financial industry to pursue her dream. So according to her website, it looks as though she carries everything from some beauty supplies such as your beauty sponges, all the way up to eyeshadow organizer books, which are extremely popular. See here, she has some bestsellers. She has shop by category, face. I did see that she carries foundation. At the moment, I'm not sure if it's her website or if that it's sold out. It won't let me see like the range, the shade range on it. It just says sold out. And the foundation on her site, it's listed at $27. So again, it's price comparable to a lot of the other foundations that are out there. Okay, so we are going to work from her palette. Again, I got this one from Target. It was $20 and some change with tax. It is a 6 shade palette. We are going to start with, let's say, for our transition color, let's do Flammable, which is kind of like a taupe color. Okay, so now that we have our transition shade, we are going to go in with a deeper brown. This one is called Torch. Let me just grab a different brush. And we are going to apply that. Oh, okay, that's a very, very deep brown. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of the Naked Eye, which is this one here, and I'm just going to go along the top. Again, very pigmented. You don't even need a lot. So we are going to do a combination of Cloudy and Naked Eye. Let's grab a brush. Going to sandwich Naked Eye and Cloudy together. And we're going to put that in the inner eye area. Torch, which is the dark brown, and we're going to apply that to the under eye area. And let's use a little bit of Showtime, which is this matte green. Just a little bit. And we're going to kind of blend that on top of Torch. We are going to move into our blush. This one's by Juvia's Place. It is their Saharan Blush Volume 1. Again, available on their website, juviasplace.com, as well as Ulta. Ulta carries a huge variety of Juvia's Place products, so you can definitely pick it up there. Okay, so I am going to use, can you guys see that? This one and this one, add just a tad bit of shimmer. Last but not least is our lips. Okay, so for our lips, I have 2 brands to choose from. First brand is UOMA, UOMA, and and this one is in shade Passion. This is called their Boss Gloss. It's more along the lines of kind of like a nude gloss. And then the second is by, I think we're gonna go with the second. So this brand, Black owned brand, I've heard about them. Actually, I've known about them since they were bogusly featured on Shark Tank and turned down, but for every door that is closed, God has so many more in store for you. And that is exactly what happened with the lip bar. That is the brand of lipstick that we are going to use today. This company has been around for quite some time now. I want to say they are based out of Detroit, Michigan. The shade I'm going to be using today is a nude shade. It is called Chocolate Spritzer. I picked this bad boy up from Target as well. Target, for a while, Target actually has been carrying the lip bars makeup. They have expanded their range. They do have some face products now. I want to say they have blushes, highlighters, and they have some eyeshadow palettes as well. So this is the lipstick that we will be using. That is it, guys, and there you have it. I hope you got a few pointers from this video. If you stuck around and you watched the entire thing, I do thank you. It's been a while. I had a ton of information I wanted to get out there. So everything that I mentioned, with the exception of a few items that were not Black owned, every brand that was mentioned was a Black beauty brand. I will put in the description box links to everything that I used, along with maybe one or two links to some of the compiled list of Black beauty brands that you guys can research and kind of discover new brands on your own. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, so definitely make sure to do so. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them in the box below. I love discussing all things beauty, so I will definitely answer. You guys be well, stay safe. We are still in a pandemic. Be blessed, and until next time, guys.